Welcome, everybody, to today's episode of Unleash Your Inner Badass. In case you're meeting for the first time, we're the Beaches, -2. We've got Fran Laubscher here, Kat Krasilnikoff, and I'm Cari Hyam. And what we do on these episodes, these podcast episodes, is we help you unpack all the baggage that's keeping you stuck. We've found that 99% of this business is a mental game. And if you can master the head game, you can be successful in anything. So today we want to talk a little bit about New Year's resolutions. So for those who are listening, who are joining, we'd love to know, what are some New Year's resolutions that you have set for yourself? I want to start off by a little story. So after I had my second son, he's now 8. I had him in May. So it was that following January where I was setting this resolution where, I was kind of feeling really sluggish, kind of feeling yucky about myself. I hadn't really been taking care of myself. And my husband, on the other hand, he's like a gym junkie. He's in the gym 5 days a week. He was lifting. It's like his space, right? It's always been his way to like de-stress, his thing. And I remember after it was this specific January, I was like, I might want to go to the gym. And so I went to my husband and I was like, I think I might want to go to the gym. And he was all like, I would love for you to come to the gym with me. Like, he's like, I would absolutely love it. I think it would be great for you. It would be great for, it would make you a better wife, mom, all the things. But he's like, however, I'm only going to agree to bring you to the gym with me on one condition. And that is, you've got to commit that you're going to do this with me for an entire year. This can't be something that you're just going to get started and then it hurts and you decide not to come. You're not going to get started and then decide, oh, I don't like this workout, and so you're not going to go anymore. There's going to be times where I'm not going to be able to come with you. And that means that you're going to have to be brave and go to the gym by yourself. So it was kind of like this little bit of a lecture that he gave me before I started the gym. But like, knowing how important it was to him, like that I was going to like fully go in, all in, doing this gym thing with him, it made me better at the gym. I didn't go in half-assed, right? I went in knowing that it was going to take time for me to start to see changes in my body, for me to get stronger. I knew that I was going to be awkward walking in there. And in my book, I actually have a chapter where I talk about, like, I was comparing myself to the other gal in the gym. And it was, had I not had that conversation with my husband, I probably would have quit multiple times. But now here we are 8 years later, and I try to go to the gym 4 to 5 days a week. Usually it's 5. I mean, obviously, if you're sick or you've got, stuff happening, I might miss a day here and there, but I've been committed to that gym, and it has made me a better wife, a better mom, a better businesswoman. After when I was dealing with postpartum depression, after I had my daughter, it was the gym that saved me. There was a meme that I saw that was going around, and it's Charlie Brown, and he's talking to Snoopy, and Charlie Brown asks Snoopy, what is a New Year's resolution? And Snoopy replies, it's the checklist the first week of January. So think about the resolution, think about your business and some of these goals that you set for yourself. Why is it that New Year's resolutions don't work? We want to talk a little bit about that today.
I mean, what you said was, you hit the nail on the head. Is we make these crazy resolutions, and then we expect instant results. We expect things to change immediately. Like, I'm going to, the best one for me is also like, I'm going to eat healthier, and I'm going to go to the gym, and I'm going to get fit. And then gyms must make a fortune of money, at the beginning of every year, because everybody signs up and then they don't see the instant results. And then, because it's going to take work. And so whatever you commit to, it's going to take consistency. It's going to take a commitment and showing up consistently. It's going to take showing up, making that commitment, and then showing up consistently, and not expecting those immediate results, but knowing that whatever you commit to is going to take time,
Yeah.
so yeah, I committed the beginning of this year, like I'm going back to eating healthy. I know I'm not going to lose 10 kilos in 2 days, but I know for me and for my health, I'm going to start to feel better again. You know, I and I don't like actually don't make New Year's resolutions. I don't. I just make decisions, and a few years ago I also wanted to get fit and healthy, so I committed, and I know myself. I got a personal trainer because I know if I go to the gym, I'm not going to go. So I know for me, I need to pay somebody to
Mhm.
go so that I have somebody that I'm accountable to, that I know that I have to go because he's expecting me to come, and I've got an appointment with him. So I know what I have to do in order to be consistent, in order to show up consistently, to build that habit, to build that muscle. Whatever it is, if you have goals that you want to hit in your business, and you're thinking, right, I want to be making 5 grand by the end of January, but so far you've made $50 in your business. It's not a realistic goal to hit. It's not a realistic, and so be realistic and think, okay, this is where I want to be. What is going to take for me to get there? Okay, what do I need to be doing every day? Whether it is healthy eating, whether it is getting fit, whether it is growing your business, what action steps do I need to do every single day in order to get there? And then reverse engineer what it is that here's where I want to be. So I want to be making 5 grand in my business. I want to be making 10 grand. I want to be making 100 grand in my business, whatever it is that you want to be. I want to be such and such a weight. I want to fit into such and such a jeans. This is where I want to be. Okay, what do I need to do in order to get there? And then reverse engineer those goals, reverse engineer those action steps so that right, this is what I need to do every day. And then evaluate. Okay, like awesome. I went to the gym. Awesome. I grew my audience. I showed up on social media. I did a live video. I'm doing my stories. I'm doing all the action steps. What's working? Find 3 things that are working. Find 2 things that are not working, and then change one form. So whether it is going to the gym and you say, well, I'm going to go 7 days a week, and then you go 3 days a week and you find that actually you can't stay in the gym, or you've signed up for classes that you don't like. Well, okay, so I signed up. I went 3 times. I got there. All right. Um,
Mhm.
and I've now what's not working. I don't like the class. I don't like the gym, whatever it is. I don't like, I don't like the time that I'm going. Okay. Okay. So what might I do differently? Let me find a better time for me that's going to suit me so that I will show up consistently. So I will hit those goals. So I'm going to talk back to the gym, but the gym is a classic one that everybody does at the beginning of the
Yep.
year. It's like, I want to get fit. And then, it's hard.
Mhm.
Whatever goal you set, whatever it is that you're going to do, whether it is healthy eating, whether it is cutting out alcohol in January and you know, um, doing dry January, or whatever that goal is going to take work. It's going to take a commitment. And it's going to be hard.
So
And
I love this quote. I'll hurry and come in with this.
yeah.
So one thing that I know that for myself and for a lot of people, when we set these goals for ourselves in our business, when we set these goals for ourselves in our lives, we're really excited in the beginning because we see like how our life might change, what is that desired
We see the
result
end
that we
result.
want? What's the end result, right? And so we're excited in the beginning, but then when it gets hard, it's not so exciting. And it's really easy to be like, take your foot off, right? And be like, "Oh, maybe it's not that big of a deal." But I had a mentor of mine once. I and I think I've shared this on a previous Unleash Your Inner Badass episode where, I was really talking to him about how I was so demotivated. I wasn't finding like excitement in my business and all the things. And he was like, Cari, you don't have a motivation problem. You have a discipline problem.
Mhm.
And discipline is that one word that will literally set you free in anything that might be any obstacle, anything that might be holding you back, standing in your way. If you're just disciplined in doing the things that you know you need to do when you need to do them. And there's this quote here. by Zig Ziglar that I love. And he says, discipline yourself to do the things you need to do when you need to do them. And the day will come when you will be able to do the things you want to do when you want to do them.
Yeah.
You can't
Yeah.
just decide, oh, I want to look, I want to lose 30 pounds in 2 days because you're going to be at the pool on Saturday. Right? That's the commitment that you have to make months before in order to lose those pounds. Now, could you go and get lipo and do those things? Yes, but it's going to cost you a hell of a lot of money. And like, even if you go and you get the lipo, if you don't have a different lifestyle, if you haven't created new habits, that weight is all going to come back on. And it's the exact same in our business, right? We have these goals and we're like, oh, you can't just say, oh, I want to be at the top rank of my company by Saturday when you're just getting started. It's going to take time and it's going to take consistency, and it's probably going to mean that you have to develop new habit patterns. And like Fran had said before, it's probably going to hurt, especially in the beginning, because you have to be willing to do it, right? You have to be willing to break that comfort wall that your brain has put in front of you to keep you safe.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think for majority of people, New Year's resolutions don't work because one of I call it a magic word that Cari just named. It's discipline. We know where we're at right now. We know where we want to be, but we don't fully understand what it's going to take, right? What's going to be involved to get from where we at to where we want to be. Like, we have this idea and we get excited about that idea and we're like, yeah, I can do it because all the people right now have that exciting new beginnings, new commitments, energy, but we don't fully understand what it's going to take to accomplish that goal, right? Being excited about it for a couple days is not enough because life's going to happen. Normal energy is going to take over. Life's, problems going to take over. And a lot of times it used to happen to me all the time. I would start looking for excuses not to do the thing that I decided to do because it becomes at some point painful, uncomfortable, and I start questioning, even, did I really want it that bad? Like, do I really want to sacrifice whatever, my sleep time, my family time, for that? So it's kind of like, in order to get what you want, you have to really want it and be willing to do the unsexy things that usually people don't talk about. And I usually compare it to before and afters, right? I don't go to the gym like Cari does. My example would be do it yourself project. I like to, do stuff in my house by myself because I like the creative process that it involves. Yes, I like the afters, I like the end result, but I love those do it yourself project because I fell in love with the creative process. And right now I'm actually redoing my closet. No, it didn't need to be redone. I just got bored during the Christmas holiday time and I'm like, well, I can redo my closet because all other rooms already redone. Pretty much. So, and now all my clothes is piled up in the corner of my bedroom. The closet has bare walls. The old shelves are in the dining room piled up. The new shelves are in the hallway piled up. And I'm sitting here and literally thinking, did I really want it that bad? Right?
But you're committed at this point.
Well, yeah, of course, knowing the process and knowing, like, right now, I'm at point of no return. Like, I had to,
Mhm.
like, I can't go back because I'm not going to put my old shelves back on just because I don't want to go through whatever is left to get the new stuff done. So, and where I'm going with this, we all see this before and after, like, or look how my body looked like before and how it looks now, or look how my room looked before and how it looks now, or my business, where I was before and where I am right now. But nobody shares what happens in between. And it's usually the
Mhm.
sweat, and it's usually the pain, and it's usually questioning your decisions, and it's usually the excuses that comes to your head that you know, trying to avoid or trying to accept. And knowing all this, because we've done it so many times, all of this, you know, goals and commitments and journeys and excuses, I already recognize all these patterns that my brain goes into when I face those uncomfortable things. But I also know the process, how to get out of it, because we've done this so many times. So I know that I'm right now at a very painful moment, right? Where I literally wearing my street clothes right now, if you guys don't see, but it is what it is. 'Cause I can't keep digging and making more mess. I don't have any clothes to wear. I understand that, you know, I have to get up. I have to, even if it's one little thing a day, it will keep moving me forward. And at some point, I'll finish this project and I will have the dessert after. But in between, what happens in between, that's the unsexy, that's the mundane, that's the discipline that will push the needle forward that most people not even aware of, not willing to commit to it, not willing to sacrifice, not willing to get uncomfortable. So usually that's what it takes to make those New Year's resolutions work, but we're just not aware, not committed, and not willing.
Yes, and I love this question that was just asked. As someone who is an introvert and just starting her business, do you think setting the goal to the end of the year is realistic? I want my business to be fully running and not require this much work, this much by the end of the year. So it's good to have a year goal. We're not saying that, you know, goals in themselves are bad. Having a year goal is actually, you want to have goals. Like we as beach bosses, every year we're setting new goals, new things that we want to happen, how many lives we want to change, how many of those lives we want to do XYZ, how much revenue we want to bring in, right? Like we're setting those goals. The difference is when you're first getting started, you probably don't know what it's going to take for you to hit certain milestones to achieve certain goals. So rather than like having this huge goal, you can still have this huge goal out to a year, but we need to have markers along the way. So in January, in order for you to hit your goal the end of the year, what does that mean January looks like? So set 30-day goals, right? Set 30-day goals along the way. Maybe it's a 90-day goal. So you have a milestone or a marker that you're evaluating at 90 days. The more that you evaluate the actions that you're taking, the easier it's going to be for you to hit those certain goals along the way.
Yeah.
So,
And learn to enjoy the process. Okay.
Mhm.
Fall in love with the process, the process that you're going. And the key when you are just starting out is loving that process, divorcing yourself from the results and loving that process and celebrating the wins along the way, the little wins. Okay. So as an introvert, celebrating that win, I put a post out on social media. I put a story out on social media. I did a live on social media. I'm doing the action steps and celebrating those wins. And to start out with, the wins will not be, I've recruited 10 people, I've recruited one person. It'll be, I put a post out on social media and start to celebrate the wins, really celebrate the wins and recognize those wins along the way. So that'll be key. Awesome.
Yeah. So, with that, what's your biggest takeaway? We'd love to know. Drop it in the chat if you're watching it here live on social media. If you're not watching it live, maybe you're just listening to the podcast episode. Think to yourself, what's the biggest takeaway? Write it down right now so that you can implement it starting now, so it will propel you throughout the rest of this year. And with that, we will see you on the next episode.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys.